relaxed session. Just relax into your body with your feet about shoulder distance and spring gently up and down in your knees, and we'll just start to warm up the legs. Just give your hands a gentle shake out. Turn the head just a little from side to side, that's the best way. Just to start to release into your neck as well. So you have a visualization here of just shaking out any tension out through your fingertips, out, down your legs, through your feet. So you start to just let go from the crown of your head of any tension down into the earth. So once you've done that, we'll focus on our diaphragmatical breathing. So we're going to use the belly breath, and if we link the movement into the belly breath, you can imagine that you've got a balloon in your ribs, and you can also imagine there's a thread on the back of your wrists and your fingers just dangle. So we'll wake up the legs a little as well. We'll exhale and you just sink slightly. So as you breathe into the rib cage, you need to have a really soft, relaxed belly. And the joints are off lock, so you'll feel your shoulders relaxing and the wrists and the elbows are relaxed and soft. So imagine a hydraulic pump. So start to visualize now that as you breathe into your belly, and the belly actually expands out, that you draw energy upwards into your battery or your power point in your belly. And by using the arms, we're starting to mobilise the shoulders too. So we're linking it to breath. So you can either close the eyes, so you move inwards, or just gaze straight ahead, but become very present in both arms and in both legs. And you might notice that the breath is quite shallow initially. It's just in the top third of your lungs. So the whole way through the course, we're moving away from just shallow breathing in the top third of the lungs. So as the puppet strings pick up the back of the wrists, just allow the air to sink right down into the pit of your lungs. So we've just started to build the breath, and then we'll just relax. So if you start to take your right thumb in your navel and you'll pick up your right heel, just get used to coordinating, same arm, same leg, so it's the right heel, right hand. This will take us into our balance, so we're preparing for more and more one leg standing balances. So we'll see how it feels as the thumb comes into the navel to pick up the heel, and then we'll get used to balancing on one bent leg. So if you pick up the heel, you might just need to hover the big toe 1 inch off the ground, and if that's more comfortable for you, keep doing that. Otherwise, pick up the knee so that your knee is now level with your hip, and you've roughly got your ankle under your knee. So we'll move into standing and moving balances where we're static and where we're moving and flowing. So your mind gets used to plugging your big toe and the ball of the foot as it comes down. So your arms are stabilizers. If it's not comfortable for you to pick up the foot, just pick up your heel. And then we're just relaxing, we're taking the arms in front. Come back to your feet, being about shoulder distance. You've got your bent arms in front, palms up. We're taking the fingertips to the shoulders and taking the elbows to sky, back and down. So we're starting to really mobilise that ball and socket shoulder joint. And we'll relax the arms down by the side. Imagine a beach ball on your belly and just wrap your hands and your arms around the beach ball on the belly. Let the thumbs relax, little gap between the fingers. Let the elbows just sink and plug your mind into your belly, your lower belly. So a couple of inches below the navel, a couple of inches back. And just visualise the thread from the centre in your palms connecting into that centre in the abdominal space. So for women, the right palm floats onto the lower belly. For men, it's the left hand first. The palm rests on the back of the hand, and we're taking the focus into the big joint, the ball and socket, hip joint. So we're rolling around on the synovial fluid. We'll keep the head quite still in the centre. Just take a few breaths where your mind just empties out. You can let go of the past, future. You're just here now, and you're present in your body. So you can spread out in your feet, root earth through your feet. And keep taking your mind back to just rolling the hips around that power point in the lower belly. And we'll start to practice watching the thinker. Where you wait for the thoughts. So as you circle the hips, you're just watching to see what the next thought is. It will be about the past or the future. So you've stepped outside of your mind as if you're looking in. Then you'll notice a thought arise. It might be linked to an emotion. And you can decide, you've acknowledged the thought, emotion, you can let it go. Can drift by, and then you're conscious again that you're in a still empty mind. So observing the body and the breath flow just draws you into presence. When you feel ready, pause at a forwards point and move the hips right, back, left, forwards. So you're also mobilising the lower back, warming up the lower back, warming up the hip joint. Thoughts will definitely come and go. Feel very relaxed, you'll feel alert, but you'll be conscious of the gaps. The gaps are just places where you're aware, there's heightened awareness that your mind's just empty. We'll take a few more circles. So these hip circles are a daily practice. You can practice this and the spinal twisting every day for just 5 minutes. So spiral in and make the circles smaller and smaller, and you'll just come to a point where you imagine you've perched on a stool behind you, the knees are off lock. Just let the hands float off the belly, take your elbows slightly out and hang off an imaginary coat hanger. So the neck and your shoulders are your coat hanger, and you've just draped your body. Just see if you can relax a little more through the jaw, your eyelids, the buttock muscles and your shoulders. So become aware of all the little bones and joints in both hands and both feet. So being advanced in a practice just really means the awareness and the presence, not how it looks, but just being here right now, breathing. Then start to turn your shoulders from side to side. It's up to you if your eyes are closed or if they're open, but as you start to turn in your waist, we're keeping the pelvis and the knees very still. So I'd like you to avoid turning and twisting in your knees. So the front hip bones face forward, so it's just really from the waist and the ribs, shoulders, turning the head to release the neck. The arms now flopping around, they're like just heavy ropes hanging off your torso. Just keep noticing if you're relaxing. Just let the breath be. This mobilises the whole of the spine and the neck. We'll gradually slow it down, just come back to stillness. Okay, and we'll step the feet together so that we come into warming the wrists and the ankle bones. So all we'll do is step the right heel forwards, pick up the right heel, left hand, so it's the opposite arm, hand now, curl the fingers around the thumb, give your thumb a squeeze, and start to use your right knee and draw a horizontal circle. Once you've got that going, just bring in your wrist. Okay, and you're going the other way. Extend through the hand, really wake up in the hand, and we'll drag that foot back, other heel lifts, other hand, squeeze the thumb, get the knee going, bring in the wrist. So we free the joints at the beginning of the session just to release any stagnant trapped energy, so our chi or prana energy can flow through the system. The other way. Then extending the hand and we'll bring the heel back. So our main focus this week is the eagle, which is a really challenging one leg balance, and we'll just move towards it and we'll use the chair as well. So if you need to, you can sit down anytime. So to start to prepare for this, take the arms out in front, and it's as if you're giving yourself a big hug. So you're crossing the arms and taking the shoulder blades away from each other, and you're just seeing if your fingertips will come towards your spine. So you're giving yourself a really big hug and just relaxing the shoulders. And if you bring your feet so they're just separated by a couple of inches, we're just going to gently start to wake up the thighs as well. So we're starting to sit down on the chair, the horse posture or the chair posture. We'll come into a little bit wider later on. So in our next session, we take the feet wide into more of a horse stance. So we're benefiting that psoas muscle in the groin, benefiting the quads, so we're strengthening the front thigh muscles. And you're reaching your tailbone backwards, so the chair is quite far behind you. And if your knees aren't too keen on this, just bend your legs very slightly. So we'll change now. We'll take the other arm on top, and then we'll keep pulsing. So you can link it to breath. You can exhale to sit into the chair pose. Buttocks, sit bones, reaching back. So if you release from there and you start to bend the arms so that you come towards the arms or the wings of the eagle. So we'll take the left arm on top. So as it comes all the way over, you're closing up the collarbones, and you can either have the back of the hands close, or you can take your right fingertips into the left palm. And then you'll see how it feels just to lift the elbows. 4 or 5 breaths. So your focus will come into those connections from the shoulder blade to the arm bone. So you've got the deep rhomboids under that triangular trapezius muscle. And you're tugging across the top of the shoulders. So if we release from there, we need to take the other arm on top. So if you take your other arm on top, you just come back to the mindfulness, watching the thinker. So no judgment or criticism of the mind. It just gives you a chance to see how busy your mind is all the time when you consciously press the off button and you watch and you wait as you breathe. And it gives you a chance to really observe both sides of your body. Because in most of us, one side's really different now. So we've really opened up the back of the ribs, back of the heart, back of the lungs. So we'll relax back now And we're taking the feet so they're just separated by a couple of inches. We're coming back to that posture, Utkatasana, where we sit down on the chair, and we're bringing in a movement where you externally rotate your biceps. So you're going to be turning your arms outwards. So this is externally rotated when you sit down on your chair. Having little fists almost acts like a pump. You can imagine this as a pump for your heart. So just make soft fists with your thumbs on the outside and get ready to sit down on your chair and reach the buttock sit bones back behind you as you exhale. So take a deep breath here. Breathe out. You don't really want your knees coming together. So as you inhale, the legs lengthen, you'll bring your hands down. So you're exhaling. Just keep your gaze relaxed on a point and really use the breath. Just imagine the chair's quite far behind you as you exhale to sit down. So your knees will let you know how far they want to sit down. Maybe you're just bending your legs very slightly. As we come back up, just release the hands and see how it feels to really lengthen out through your fingers and really open up that energy center in the palm. So just separate the fingers, take a couple of breaths there and relax. We'll take the chair, so we'll explore the eagle on the chair. And if you would prefer to come to standing in the full eagle, then you can do. So normally we wouldn't advise sitting cross-legged on a chair, but this is a good way to explore the eagle because it is quite challenging one-leg balance. It is an earthed bird, so we're still down in that pelvic floor energy. So if you cross your right leg on top of your left, you're gently squeezing the legs together. In the eagle, if your right leg is on top and you come back to the arms, it's your left arm that is on top. So this is normally a one-leg standing balance. But this gives us a chance just to feel that we're gently squeezing, and then when we release, normal blood and lymphatic flow resume. So if we squeeze the arms and the legs gently together, we'll take around 5 breaths here. You can either close your eyes or just gaze ahead. So we'll unravel from here. So as you release your arms, just let them come down by the side. Mindfully release your knees. So we've had the right leg on top. So we take the left leg on top now. And as you gently squeeze the legs together, because your left leg is on top, as you bring your arms up, it's the right arm on top of the left. So this is the full eagle. You might need to modify where your hands are. Maybe they're just here. And after a few months that might change, or left fingers in the right palm. And you can lift the elbows slightly. Either just close the eyes or gaze ahead. So our earthed bird, the foot on the ground is just spread out, rooted, but we also focus into breathing into the back, top of the back. release from there. So as we relax the arms, we'll take the foot back down. So we've been tugging down this outer hip buttock space. We also need to take the focus into the inner legs, the adductors. So to do that, we'll perch on the front of your chair, and if you take your feet as wide as they'll go, just lean forward so you've got your elbows on your legs, and this might be enough for you. If you're very used to the practice, you might want to take your fingertips and your palms down and just keep the neck long and relaxed and the shoulders away from your ears. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. So you can also practice this with blocks. We'll take one elbow back to the leg and then the other. So you can get used to this with blocks under your hands. But we'll come up now. So as you come back upright, you'll bring one knee into the centre and then you'll bring the other knee. And we're going to take focus now into twisting in the waist. And we'll be using some resistance, pushing and pulling with the hands. So your chair, depending on how high it is, might need your block or your cushion under your feet. So if you've got your knees over your ankles, your feet slightly separated, then you can just sit tall. So we'll just take a little while to roll the shoulders before we come into the next spinal twist. So we've used our standing twist at the very beginning. So a lot of focus in the shoulders with the eagle, where we brought the shoulders forwards, and we'll just take a little while to roll the shoulders up, back and down. So the whole time we're counterbalancing, taking the body one way and then taking it the other. So your need now, as you relax your shoulders, to sit side on. So just shift your block if it's under your feet, and you've got your left side to the back of the chair. So the right hand will be on the edge of the chair, left hand on the edge of the chair. Drop your shoulders. So because you can use the push-pull resistance with your hands and your arms, you'll get a little more twist in the waist. The pelvis stays steady, doesn't move, and the knees stay fixed. So you're dropping the shoulders and you're about to turn your head to the left. So you can pull with your right hand and you can push with the heel of the left hand as you turn your head left. Ease out, just give yourself a couple of seconds just to settle back in the centre, and you'll need to shift your block. So if you've got your block under your feet, you'll need to come back into the centre and take your block to the other side. So now it's the right side, so as you turn, you've got your right hand, left hand, and the feet evenly placed, toes lined up. So now you're pushing with the heel of the right hand and you're pulling and tugging with your left. That will take you into the twist where you're massaging the digestive system, liver, gallbladder, all the internal upper digestive system is being gently squeezed and massaged. And you're releasing your neck, keeping the shoulders fairly relaxed, the toes spread out. The breath will need to be really light, subtle here. to the centre. We need a little more focus now in the balance, one leg balances, that's the main focus of the course. So if you come back up to standing, you can actually use your chair. And if you have the back of the chair now facing you, you can just rest your fingertips on the chair. And your legs are quite strong and straight. We'll pick up the heel first, and then as we take the knee up, you might just want to have your bent leg here, or you can take the hand around the shin, and with the grounded leg quite firm, just flex the foot gently and fix your eyes on one point. So when you start to practice the one leg standing balances, spread your mind out into the big toe, ball of the foot that's earthed. Fix your gaze on a point and just see if you want to float the hand off the chair. So you'll be able to practice that along with your hip circling and your spinal twists. So we're taking the other leg up into the air. So as we do that, you've got your hand on the chair. Just see where you're comfortable to lift the leg, float the hand off if you feel happy to, if not, keep the hand on the chair. So big toe, gaze. And you're building up from 5 seconds to 10 seconds and just seeing how long you're able to balance on your leg. Okay, so just see how it feels to bend your legs, pick up the heel and just balance on your big toe with both legs bent. And take the arms and bend them in front of you and then pick up your big toe, and you come halfway towards an eagle, but you'll just get used to this technique first, floating the big toe with both legs bent. See how that feels on the other side. So bend both legs, pick up the heel, pick up the big toe, sit on the bent leg. And then you'll be gradually able to move towards that eagle without the chair. So take shoulder rolls, one shoulder, the other shoulder. So from the eagle, you're just releasing around that ball and socket, shoulder joint. Okay, so we're relaxed. We're now coming down onto the floor. So just shift your chair off your mat, and the focus on the floor with the floor work will be in stabilising your pelvis, squeezing up through the quad. You'll have one hand on the back of your head and the other leg will be lifted, and then we'll be lying on the belly and coming into cobra and sphinx, where we really strengthen these muscles running down the back. So we'll come onto the back first, and we're just relaxing with the legs bent. So we'll lengthen the legs out, have the big toes quite close, lift your head, the right palm supporting your head, and the left palm can be down, and you're lifting your left leg just an inch. So squeeze around your knee and your thigh. 5 deep breaths. And heel down, so just lift your head, so you're changing the arms over, your left palm supporting the back of your head, right palm down, so the focus in this left shoulder and in the right leg, squeezing your kneecap. heel down. Bring the arm down and we'll come back to bent legs. Just have your palms on your knees and the calves parallel to the ground as if you're sat on a chair, and press the small of your back into the mat. 5 deep breaths. One foot down, then the other. Just relax for a breath. And we're rolling to your right side. So if you do that, you'll be able to come onto the belly and you'll have your arms behind you. So you have a gap through your feet and you're lifting the chest. We're moving into a flow here. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale, and keeping the chin down as you lift, you'll exhale down. Got the back of the hands on the ground, your legs are really firm, they're engaged, heels to sky. So avoid pointing your heels together, you're on the front of the little toe on the ground. So press down in your palms, so when you're ready, you can come onto your hands and your knees. And as you do that, you'll have a gap between your knees and your feet. So a good gap, a few inches. Separate the fingers out and scoop your belly button up to counterbalance that back bend you've just been in, chin down. Lift the head, squeeze the shoulder blades together down your back and lift your tailbone. So if you now tuck the tailbone, your belly navel will pin up, chin into the chest. You're lifting your head, shoulder blades down your back, tailbone lifts. So just keep rolling up and down your spine. So we'll get used to our downward facing dog. We're just tucking the toes under, lifting the knees and taking the knees back down. So there's no pressure on the hamstrings because your legs are very bent. You are building upper body strength as well. And the next time you come up, you'll start to pedal the legs. You'll bend one leg and then the other. Keep the hands evenly rooted and your neck soft. If you walk your toes forwards, you'll have very bent legs, your fingertips in front of your toes, and your neck still relaxed. With your legs bent, head rolls up last, and you'll come up to the centre. You'll come back to those shoulder rolls, up, back and down. And then we'll just relax for a breath. Bend your arms and legs very slightly. Travel in your mind back into the bones in your hands and your feet. And just pause in stillness between all the movement. Just notice how you feel in both sides of your body. So from here we'll need to use the length of the mat. So if you stand in the centre of the mat and you get ready to take your feet wide, you may only want to separate your feet by a couple of feet. But if you're happy to, your feet can be about the length of one leg. And we're coming towards a warrior two. So we'll take the arms out to the side here. So we need to line the left heel up with the right arch. We'll be in the centre. And we're starting to think about bending this left leg. So you've got your knee over the ankle. You don't really want your toes to be not aligned. So you need the knee over the ankle. So if your toes are hidden by your knee, the knees come too far. And if the knee is too far back, you can see your toes. The knee doesn't really like that. So knee directly over the ankle. The torso is facing forwards, and you're starting to think about a reverse warrior. So right hand on your right leg. You're taking the right hand just a couple of inches down and leaning to your right. So you're leaning towards the straight leg. Left palm facing forwards. You'll become aware of this crease in the hip on the straight leg. The thigh is drawing up. This long leg is quite firm. So you take a couple of breaths there and you're opening up the space in the left side of your body, so the left ribs and the waist. So if you just bring your torso up right now, you can avoid leaning to the bent leg, so you're right in the centre of your torso. You'll turn your head to the left and you're going to have the left palm now up. And as you straighten the leg, the palms change. Right palm up, left palm down. So you're going to start to pulse. So you'll exhale and the left palm will be up and the leg will be bent. Once the leg is straight, you will have the left palm down. So just keep sinking into breathing out. Inhaling to straighten the leg so that you switch your wrists. So this is a warrior two, but we're also bringing in, waking up the lung meridian energetic channel. So as we come back up, just have both palms down, swiveling your feet. So you're taking your hands as you breathe out, just under the knees. We've already prepared for this by using the chair, taking the knees wide. So with a long neck, shoulders down, the legs engaged. Visualize zipping up the inner leg, arches to your navel. So some weeks, if you wanted to practice and stay here longer, you can have your hands on your chair or your elbows on the seat of your chair. So as we come up from here, take your deep breath in, keep your legs strong. We'll come up and then we're moving to the other side to move through that sequence. So arms out to the side. If you turn the right foot out, you'll have your right heel lined up with the left arch. Just check the placement of the knee because it needs to be comfortable. So as you breathe out, you've got that right knee over the ankle. We'll come to reverse warrior first. So left hand on the straight left leg. Just glide the fingers down and right arm to sky. So your head's on the wall behind you, your imaginary wall, right palm facing forwards. The feet are spread out. You're noticing this junction here in the left hip. This technique allows you to keep your torso in the centre, so you avoid leaning to the right, the bent leg, when you do come upright. So if you just float the arms up, your torso will be ideally placed just over the pelvis. So we're going to turn the right palm up and look into the right palm. And then as you straighten the leg, you breathe in and the palm position changes. Breathe out, right leg bent, right palm up. Inhale, straight leg, change the palms. Keep going. Then palms down, swivel in the feet, bring the arms down, breathe in, exhale, and we'll come back to centre, to symmetry. So these are all really beneficial for your lower back. And we'll come up. Walk your feet in, so the feet need to be about shoulder distance. And we're taking focus back to warming up the back muscles. So I have the palms on the belly. We'll come forwards just very slightly. The focus now comes back to the back bend. So we've explored that by lying on the belly. And now we're standing with firm straight legs. And we're leaning slightly back to breathe in. And the chin comes down as we lean back to inhale. And you just start to explore how far you want to come back on the inhalation. Once you come forwards, we'll just relax here with the chin into the chest. So we've been moving up from the base of the floor to the lower belly, the navel, the heart, now coming into that throat energy center. So we've gradually moved from earth through water, fire, air and ether. And now we're at the top of the energetic center. We've come into focusing on your neck and your throat. We'll float the head up from the right ear to the right shoulder, then back to centre and to the other side. Just gently ease one ear to the shoulder and then the other. If we just bring the head back to centre and we lengthen the neck, so just lift your head, take a breath there. We're moving to breathing on the chair, but we're also exploring hand gestures. The one we're using this week is where you bring the thumb tip to the middle fingertip and the ring finger. So these fingers, the index finger and the pinky, the little finger, lengthen out. And your hands will be resting on the back of your legs. So take your chair and just place your feet, if you need to, on the block. So just perch on the front of the chair so you get used to just sitting up. If you really need to have cushions or pillows or lean your back into the chair, please do so. But this is postural enhancement. You're long in your back, you're quite relaxed. Then we're coming into these hand gestures. So it's the middle finger and the ring finger on both hands. And just see this one as enhancing the health of your heart and your digestive system. So with the back of the hands, your arms are bent on your legs, lengthen the other fingers. And if you close the eyes, we're moving gradually towards retention of the breath. So I'd like you to research that in your own time, the benefits of gently retaining the breath after the inhalation and pausing at the end of your exhalation, because there are many, many quite amazing health benefits from practicing that. So with your neck long and your back tall, your chin slightly back, whenever you come into the breathing techniques, you'll also be aware of gentle engagement in the pelvic floor, and you want to avoid lifting your face up. So avoid lifting your chin when you come into the breathing techniques. So the chin's slightly back and down. And as we hold the hand gesture, and in your own way, just visualize the heart being well, and the digestive system calm. At the very beginning we mentioned our belly breath, the diaphragmatical breathing. So belly soft. See if the belly will actually expand outwards as you breathe in deeply. So as your belly button comes back, you're aware of the pelvic floor and the chin slightly back and down. So let's just build the inhalation and the exhalation first. So ideally you're practicing this for around 10 minutes every day. And our initial focus was breathing in 4 seconds and breathing out 4 seconds. So if you feel ready to, you get used to inhaling 4 and breathing out for 7. So just get used to that first. In 4, out 7. it one more time. And we'll keep going, but we're getting used to pausing for a second at the end of the inhalation and the end of the exhalation. We'll keep going with in 4, exhaling 7, but become aware of those still pauses. So I'll now be counting this, and I'd like you just for one round to use my voice for the breath count, and then you'll be counting it for yourself. So breathe in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, pause 2, breathe out 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and pause and keep going. One more. And as you release that hand position, just see the hand positions as ways to focus and concentrate a little more. And we'll finish with just pressing the palms gently together, thumbs to the sternum. Just come back to emptying the mind. Breath is just now, it's light, natural, but the breath may have changed a little. Be gradually building up, so day by day you'll be using a breathing technique, building up from 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. So if your eyes are closed, always breathe out to blink them open, and then we're lying down. So we're taking the chair off the mat. You'll need all your layers, your tops, your blankets, and if you get ready with your cushion, you can lie down and with your palms facing up. So you've got your legs long, your arms long, your palms up, the chin down because you've got your pillow under your head. So just relax here for around 5 minutes, and I'll talk you through a guided relaxation. So I'd like you to repeat in your mind each line I say. My right hand feels very relaxed. Left hand feels very relaxed. My right foot feels very relaxed. My left foot feels very relaxed. My right arm is soft and relaxed. My left arm is soft and relaxed. Right leg is soft and relaxed. My left leg is soft and relaxed. I feel relaxed through my face and my back. I feel relaxed through my face and my back. So this creative visualization you're about to move into is just your imagination. You're just using your imagination in your own way. And it sounds quite abstract, but just visualize, imagine that you're inside a globe, a sphere, and you're floating inside the globe. So it's very buoyant, you're very relaxed, and you can just hover and float in your globe. And the globe's full of white light, and it's just a safe, quiet, peaceful place where you're about to deeply relax. Now you're starting to draw the white light that's inside the globe up the nostrils. It filters into the top of the lungs, starts to fill your lungs every time you breathe in. And the white light in the globe has a healing quality. It's a misty, sparkly light that you can breathe in. Every time you follow the light up the nostrils, more and more light floods into the body, moves into all the internal organs, and your torso is now full of the white light. You follow the light moving up the nostrils as you breathe in. It starts to flow down your limbs into your hands and your feet. And you feel, as you imagine your head filling with light, your brain, your face, healing light moving into your body, your face. Feel relaxed, mind is still. You just visualize, imagine just floating inside the globe, buoyant, quiet. And you can feel it's a peaceful, still, quiet place you can visit anytime you need to. Very gently start to let go of that visualization. Come back to just feeling the earth under your body, and if you take your palms on your belly and you bend your legs, earth your feet, and just imagine as you now visualize roots from your back belly button and your feet, that you're very connected to earth, you're grounded, you've come back to tethering yourself. And get ready to hug the knees into the chest and just rock from side to side across your back. Roll to the right side and press your left palm down so you can push yourself up to seated. So just take your time coming up to seated or kneeling. Okay, so thank you very much for practicing. And next week, in the next session, maybe you're doing sessions every day or once a week, practice them regularly and take bits and pieces from them and practice other things for 5 or 10 minutes during the day. So in our next session, we're exploring this posture, which is called the face of light or the head of the cow, which will really mobilise the little connections from the shoulder blades to the arm bone. We'll also be exploring our horse dance, where our legs will be much wider and we're bending the legs to strengthen these muscles and to benefit this psoas muscle in the groin. And then we'll finish again with a breathing technique and a relaxation. So I look forward to seeing you next time, whenever that is.